Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. Well, the adjusted SGX Nifty is down about 40 to 50 points, so the start is going to be in the red. But there are plenty of stocks to focus on this morning. Our entire research team is joining us bright and early to help us prep for the day. First up, lots happening on the Adani group, so let's get that in focus. Vivek is here with more on that. Vivek, morning.
Well, good morning. Quite a few developments as far as the Adani Group is concerned. An important development actually, and it's quite positive as far as the entire group is there. Adani Group has actually gone ahead and prepaid almost 7,370 crore worth of share-back financing. And, this is ahead of the planned maturity of April 2025. Now, the payment has been made to various international banks and Indian financial institutions where the shares were actually pledged. Now, looking at the breakup of this prepayment, Adani Ports, because of the prepayment, the pledged shares will actually get released. So, 11.8% of the promoters' holding shall be released in Adani Ports. In Adani Enterprises, 4% will be released. Adani Transmission, 4.5%, and Adani Green, 1.2% of the promoters' holding will actually be released. Now, that actually takes the total amount of share pledge repayment to over $2,016 million, and this has been done in the months of February as well as March of 2023. Now, what the company is saying is that this is actually in line with the promoters' commitment to prepay all of the share-back financing before 31st of March 2023. So that will be an important development to track as far as the entire group is concerned.
Hey, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Vivek. Let's hop across to Sonal, who's joining to tell us about IGL. They're looking at a JV, Sonal, to set up a smart meters manufacturing plant. Tell us more.
Oh, yes, an interesting one at that, because that is exactly not what the company does. So it's a new foray as well for IGL. IGL and Genesis Gas Solutions have entered into a joint venture. This is to set up integrated smart meter manufacturing plant. This will have a capex of around 110 crore rupees, and plant will have an installed capacity of 1 million meters annually as well. They expect the plant will be operational by 2024. The participation ratio, IGL will hold around 51% in this JV. 49% will be driven by Genesis. Now, this is an interesting field where a lot of capex is happening across the industry as well. So we'll see which way things go. But for now, it's an interesting diversification that IGL has undertaken.
Gas companies are always coming out with something new or the other these days. It was MGL hitting the headlines on Monday, and now it's IGL. Thanks, Sonal, for that. Let's get to Mangalam. Mangalam, you're watching for some more stocks?
I have a bunch of them on my radar today, quite a handful actually. Sun Pharma, we start with that. They've gone ahead and completed the acquisition of Concert Pharma. Remember, they had acquired or made the announcement of this acquisition on Jan 20th itself. It's a $567 million acquisition plus additional payments of $252 million. All Cargo is the other one that I'm watching out for. They've bought their partner's stake, 39% stake in Contract Logistics, at an enterprise value of 373 odd crores. This business, remember, does an EBITDA of almost 31 crores in the third quarter itself. Apart from that, they've also decided to sell their non-core customs clearance business for an EV of 42 crores. That's 61.1% stake that they've sold. Power Grid is the other one, a near 4,100 crore capex, which has been announced by the company, approved by the board. So we're expecting, 524 crores worth Eastern region expansion to be commissioned in November 2025. The transmission system for Kurnool Wind Energy Zone, which is in Andhra Pradesh, which is worth nearly 3,500 crores, also expected to commission by November 2024. Vardhman Special Steels is the other one that I'm watching out for. Their investor, IG, which invested some stake in the company, has gone ahead and, asked for mass production of steel for forging companies. They've also started to supply to Toyota, and this would amount to nearly 10,000 metric tons in terms of capex, in terms of approximate volumes in the next financial year. And finally, we have Z, where one more hurdle has been cleared. It's entered into a settlement with IPRS, which is one of its creditors, had earlier filed against the company for insolvency, and they've decided to end all disputes and claims between them. Apart from that, remember, the City deal is also today, so we will watch out for all these things as the company is removing all the hurdles towards the merger.
All right, thanks a lot, Mangalam, for that. So a lot of corporate developments, and as Mangalam was saying, All Cargo Logistics is in focus. They've bought the remaining stake from their partner in Contract Logistics, so we'll be speaking about that in just a bit with the management. So that chat comes up at 8:35 a.m. But here's a quick recap of all the stocks that we're looking at this morning. Stocks with positive news flow. There's Adani Ports, Adani Enterprises, Adani Transmission, so the entire Adani group in focus. There's IGL, Sun Pharma, All Cargo Logistics, Power Grid, Vardhman, Special Steels and Z Entertainment, while no stocks on the radar with negative news flow. So we'll, of course, focus on that, but largely a lot of positive news flow coming through this morning.
All right, well, let's turn our attention then away from the equity markets and focus on the commodity space. Manisha Gupta joins us to tell us exactly that. Morning, Manisha.
Morning, Nigel. Thank you for that. Well, we have seen most of the commodities start the day with a decline as the dollar index has seen a strong gain. And, it was just about yesterday that the markets were pricing a 30% chance of a 50 basis rate hike for the month of March. Now, that has increased to 70% of a possibility, and that's weighing on to the markets. The weak China data also does not support. So you have the crude oil prices that fell 3.5% overnight. Silver now is trading at a 4-month lows. Gold prices posted a worst day in a month, and the base metal prices have declined as well. So we've seen copper decline by 2.5% yesterday. It's trading quite flat right now. Same goes for aluminum and zinc as well, where we have seen prices decline between 1 to 2% already in this week. So yet another weak start in Asia and in China especially.
Okay, we'll watch out for how this plays out. Manisha, thanks very much for telling us how those comments are working through the commodities market. We'll take a break on that note. On the other side, we get a conversation going with Devin Choksi of KR Choksi. We'll talk about some fundamental ideas, a couple of individual stocks. After that, we'll connect with Ravi Jhakar of All Cargo Logistics. We'll talk about the company's purchase of 39% equity in contract logistics. Stay tuned for that.